that makes me wonder about reality television, seamless transition. So with their, every move being recorded, I know now there's not necessarily now, perhaps maybe the last 10, 5 years.
Blind, right?
There's a ton of different shows. The 90 Day Fiance, Love is Blind, The Bachelor, Bachelorette. Although I don't know if those counts. Are the Bachelor, Bachelorette count as reality television as well? Yeah. So how many shows do they have? Don't Love Island, isn't that one as well? Too hot to handle. A ton of those regarding 100%. Like love and reality, but I think primarily around relationships. It's incredibly popular now, but what I don't understand is I'd love to know the percentage of how many people who go onto there and leave a couple remain a couple. It's incredibly
low. It's like fucking 10%. The reason why, this coming from someone who's been on reality TV, I did an MTV show. These producers, think about it. If we're making a show, we're creating content, because they're just content creators at the highest level.
Right.
But I don't even know about the highest level anymore, but like with the most money. So their job is to create compelling content and create a story based on real life, reality TV. Mm-hmm. So like Love is Blind, they're almost like painting that picture. They're like, okay, let's get all of these different people. Let's see how it plays out. Depending on how it plays out, they're like, oh, let's kind of pencil this in. Let's try to make this happen or this happen, because this would be so juicy if this happened. Mm-hmm. This would be super dramatic. We get a bunch of views if this happened. It's almost like they bring all these people together from different walks of life.
Right.
Because they know it's going to be a fucking shit show, but that shit show is going to equal views, watching. Because Love is Blind, like, David was talking about it. I don't know if have you seen it or no?
I only seen 2 episodes.
So my wife watched the entire thing. She's literally addicted. Every time I walk into my living room, it's like Love is Blind is on. She's like, it's so good. And she's posting about it on her story for free. They're not paying her to post about it, but she's on her story like, oh my God, guys, this is such a good episode.
Right.
Fuck it, that's exactly what they wanted. So with reality TV, I don't know,
they bank on drama.
Yeah.
They need the drama. But what's so weird to me is the goal of the show, at least how it's presented, is the idea, and we'll stay on Love is Blind for now, is this idea of love being blind. I don't think that's... And I think it's foolish to think that way. Now, if you think it's like blind of flaw or whatever the case is.
This is why I think that's untrue also, because if Love was really blind, that would cast some ugly fucking people. If you notice, they casted, I feel like when they cast people that are like relatively like, okay, I would
average to very attractive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, Love is not blind, otherwise you would cast this differently.
Correct.
Because they don't want the result of like, let's say you match with just a completely ugly person, and you come out and you're like, oh, fuck no.
Right.
That's how I would be.
But what's interesting about that is, even in that happening, people would have a natural outrage to say, oh, this person's very shallow or whatever. Yeah. But if you were to take those very same people and put them in your shoes in that moment of you believing this person, because at the end of the day, even though you can love somebody for so much more things than just their attractiveness plays a role.
100%.
You can't sit there and make it seem as if you could just be with somebody who is not moderately attractive at all. Like there are outliers. Like, for example, it's going to sound fucked up, but people who are born with or happen to have like disability to a certain degree to where now your physical is affected. Like if you're somebody who unfortunately had a stroke or something, and then half of your body is like either not working or something, anybody would say that will lower your chance of being able to get a partner. It doesn't say that you can't get one, but most people would say they wouldn't want to be with somebody who happens to look like they were a victim of something, like even burn victims or something. It's not easy to go find a partner. Not to say that it's not possible. You still could. But if you were just on a show, you didn't know, though, they could have been like, hey, I had an accident or something like that. Okay, cool. You have no idea how bad it is. Now you see them and you're like, oh, this ain't gonna work for me. Or you could do like the Randy Jackson. It's a no for me.
It's a silly idea. I watched the very first season of Love is Blind, and I think that was what made it a hit, because like they're together to this day.
Right.
So the people that won, they were like attracted to each other. They were talking. It was really like cute. They ended up together, and to this day they're still together. like 6 years later or 5 years later, right? And it was like one of those things where like this experiment worked out.
Right,
And
right.
it helped. It was like a white guy and a black girl. And they just ended up together. They loved each other genuinely. Like it was one of those cases where it worked out.
Right.
But 90% of the time, I don't think that's going to be the case.
See, that's where I look at it like how many other relationships that were built from it. Right.
Like if I was there, right, I'd just be in there like, what's up? Yeah, I made $1 million. Yep.
And it boosts you with the clout.
I'm like 6'2". Yep. Yeah, I got. Some people say I got abs, but I don't know. Like they say I got an 8-pack. I personally think it's like more of a 6-pack. Like I would just fucking cap out my fucking ass.
And they would keep you because it builds the drama, and the
100%.
viewers would hate you so much
100%.
that they would keep tuning in to where you don't even have to be genuine. Like I saw and one of the 2 episodes that I had saw, there was a girl who said she looked like Megan Fox.
I remember my wife told me about that.
Right?
Yeah.
And what threw me off was, for one, I think they had a viral TikTok that talked about it. She does kind of look like Megan Fox. If you took her face and put it on like Jay Leno's head, then it works. But my thing when I looked at it was like, all right, if you're going to say that's the case, you kind of have to be very descriptive when you say you look like somebody. So what is the body type the same? How much of the face do you know you mess around and look like? And then if it's supposed to be blind, so you're not even supposed to say this is what you look like.
But the producers like that. They're like, oh.
Exactly.
Because they see it and they're like, go.
Right,
go.
because in the same episode, there was another guy who had asked, I guess, how somebody had looked, and then she had responded, well, this is not what the experiment is about, or whatever the case is. So I'm sitting there like, how do you showcase one side where they're talking about appearance, but then the other side where they're saying because appearance isn't supposed to...
The producers of the show...
They know exactly what they're doing.
They see that, and they're like... This is, especially if they see the girl, they're like, she does not look like fucking Megan Fox, but this is fucking gold. Roll, let it roll, roll. They're like, keep going. Because that's exactly what it is. They're searching for those moments in time where they get that fucking like, that. Because then that became a thing. Everyone started laughing. They're like, oh, I look like Megan Fox. Again, if I'm in there, I'd be like, yeah, some people say I look like Brad Pitt. So others say Leo DiCaprio, but I don't know. Personally, I don't see it.
Yeah, they're doing it. I think truly
they
now,
love that shit,
those shows, not only is it just like building off of the drama and everything, it seems as if the people go on there specifically in order to either grow a personal brand, because more often than not, they already don't have one.
Right.
And then from that point, it's just clout off of that period.
This is one big thing, and the issue with reality TV, because you do have those standout stars that have built a living off of it. You look at all the Jersey Shore people.
Right.
They've all culminated like some sort of following. They've built a brand. They've built an entire profession based on that TV. So everyone wants to do TV hoping for that.
Right.
They don't always get it. Great example. I did reality TV. I did a show with MTV. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, whatever. It's not going to air anymore. Found out it wasn't going to air. But everyone that went on there, the way they talked about it was, yo, life is about to change.
Right.
Life is about to change for all of us. Life is about to change. That was their entire approach the entire time. Like, we're gonna be a star, And it's like I don't think you guys realize how the whole fucking game works.
Right.
Because even if the show let's say the show had come out, people might see these people, but they're not gonna just follow you if there's no reason to follow you.
It's based off of the performance of the show. Like there will be those who now go and they'll maybe attracted to your page, but then how do you retain them?
Well, so here's a great example, and I discovered this the other day. In the world that we live in now, there's a Squid Game on Netflix. I watched that one.
Yes.
There was a Squid Game reality show.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know. I know of the television show.
There was a Squid Game reality show. And there was a contestant on there that I really liked. He was like the noble one. He was like the leader. He took an L he sacrificed himself for the team. I saw him live on TikTok the other day. Dude had like 50 people watching him. I'm like, how do you go from Netflix, hundreds of millions of viewers, to having 50 people watching you on TikTok live? There are those who know how to monetize themselves, and then I guess those who don't. The TV, it's almost like we talked about it before. The TV is a great like launch pad. Right. Like if you were to be on the NBA like celebrity all-star game, but I guess in that case you're already a celebrity. But let's say you just find a way on TV, it launches you up. But if people don't have a reason to follow you, they're not going to keep following you. So that's what I think happens with reality TV. And the producers, they milk the fuck out of it because they want a specific reaction. Right.
And I think if the people can now buy into who it is that they're watching, to where now it's like, all right, I'm in a position to where I'm watching this person and I can relate to them. So now I'm living vicariously through them on the show. So when they win, it feels like I won. And that's kind of, I guess, what the producers are looking for towards. But what I can't seem to grasp, is from the viewer's perspective, How do you get so immersed into it without recognizing this is a farce to a certain degree?
Well, I don't know if it's that, because, so great example, my wife, she did reality TV.
Yeah.
She hated it. She's like, this is the worst experience ever. They don't care about you as a person. They just want the drama.
Right.
They don't care how you look, as long as it puts money in whatever the company is, MTV, Netflix, puts money in their pockets. They don't care how you look. They just want to make money for them. They don't care how you look.
Right.
So my wife hated it, because it's like when I was there, they were literally just like manipulating me to like they're telling me to do what because producers, they're in your ear. Like during these reality TV shows, when she said, oh, I kind of look like Megan Fox, they could have easily cut that out.
Right.
But they put that in there on purpose. The producers were like, okay, so on your next meeting with him, say the same, like go in harder on that. Like producers will tell you what they think will work.
Right.
And they advise you, because they were advising me on the show, like, oh, but Renee, what's your strategy here? What, don't you want to win the game? What's your strategy? And I'm like, listen, because I remember for me, producers would have meeting. They would pull you to the side and like talk to you about like, hey, what's your strategy to win this game? They kind of want to get into your psyche
to try to manipulate.
Yeah.
Right.
And then for me, I'm kind of like, I looked at TV complete opposite of my wife. She hated it. She's like, they manipulate you. We talked about it earlier, but for me, I was like, this is a fucking vacation. Mm-hmm. In the real world, I got a business to run. I got meetings. I got rent. I got bills. I got all this shit. And here, I'm kind of like, I'm chilling, hanging out, TV, give me a check, TV. Like, it was literally just... everyone's all stressed out. I'm like, guys, the fuck? If you stressed out in here, you're gonna be stressed out in life.
Right. I guess it all comes down to intention when you go in, because of course they would probably sell you the dream when they bring everybody else in, like you said earlier, where they're like, hey, this is gonna change your life or whatever. Yeah. That probably would galvanize people to say, hey, I want to go and do this. Almost like the Squid Game in the television show, where they were like, yo, you have an opportunity to go back to the regular life that you live in, or you can take a chance on yourself and see if you can win.
Don't get me wrong. For me, I was looking forward to it because I have the resource. I already had like a rollout plan afterwards. The second that the shit dropped, I would have had fucking like 7 editors just clipping everything for me. Boom, boom, boom.
Do a press tour and all the other stuff.
Do all of that, yeah.
Right.
Hit every single podcast. Like I had a list of everything. Other people don't necessarily have that. But that being said, when I was there, I was kind of like, they're whispering in your ear. They're telling you kind of what to do. Mm-hmm. You know? And I think the average person that wants to be a star, they're sold the hey, it's going to change your life. They're sold that, and it makes them more suggestible because they're willing to do whatever it takes to get
right.
to that.